and welcome back to Love and Romance Tarot Readings. I am excited for today's pick a card. Today, really, I'm going to gas you up. Well, we're going to see what's attractive about you. That is our topic. We're going to see what people like about you or what your person likes about you. Why do people admire you? How attractive are you? That is our topic today. So that is our reading. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading or any of my other magical offerings, that is where you can find me. Other than that, you can go ahead and pause the video if you need more time with the piles, and you can always pick more than one pile as well for all of my readings. For group one, we have the purple diamond, and we'll be using the Witchy Magic Tarot for group one. For group two, we have the yellow diamond, and we'll be using the Teddy Tarot for group two. For group three, we have the red diamond, and we'll be using the traditional manga tarot for group three. And for group four, we have the green diamond, and we'll be using the Rider-Waite tarot for group four. So go ahead, pause the video if you need more time to decide, and we're just going to jump right into it. All right, if you chose group one with the purple diamond and the Witchy Magic Tarot, this is your reading, tapping in to see what makes you attractive. What do people like about you? What does your person like about you? Why do people admire you? We'll get all of that, Spirit, for group one with the purple stone. Please show us what makes group one attractive. What do people admire about group one? What do people like about group one? Whoa. A lot of creative energy here, a lot of like sacred womb energy here, to be honest. We actually have the cosmic egg that came out. So it's more like in a sacral sense, in a very like almost sexy sense, where it's energetic and you can really feel it externally. I feel like you're one of those people can sense your presence before maybe the eyes even make it to you. We have Ariad, and it says the mistress of the labyrinth. So if you know what a labyrinth is, it's like a maze, you know, and you are the mistress of the maze. So there's a lot of, you know, mystery that surrounds you. People may find themselves even dazed in your presence. You may notice that when people talk to you, they can easily lose the point. Or, you know, people kind of, it's like, okay, let me set aside my intention and what I want. Let me listen to what group one is saying and communicating. People find themselves wanting almost to worship you, but definitely wanting to follow you or listen to you. So in school, you may have got picked a lot, you know, for questions by teachers, and you may have gotten copied a bit. It says, my soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. So you definitely don't shy away from conflict. You don't shy away from what you want. You don't shy away from your own ambition or your own power. It seems like you're someone who's like, okay, up and at 'em. Let's get at it. Let's do what needs to be done. Let's handle it. We have the cosmic egg with the divine feminine. It says, I hold the universe within me, and I am the force of an ever-expanding love. So I feel like you do have empathy towards people, but it's in kind of like a badass kind of way. Like it feels like, you know, a very empowered form of empathy. You have the friends that are like, okay, let me listen to you kind of vent. And then you have the friends like, all right, let's get up, let's do something about it. Or, you know, you're too, you know, pretty, you're too attractive to be down, like let's go out, forget it, you know, let's forget our problems. And I feel like you're the latter, you know, the group who it's like, okay, I ain't gonna sit here and listen to you all day, but if you do want to take action, I am here for you. And again, with that strong creative force, it feels like you're a master manifester, an alchemizer. You could be someone who's really into manifestation. We have the Shekinah, the priestess of the divine feminine. It says, I am the center of everything, and there is light, and I am that light. So, wow, you guys have a lot of confidence in yourself, it seems, or you know your power. As time goes on, you will know your power more and more. It's probably hard to claim. I could feel like easily how someone could feel all this power within them, but shy away from it because it feels like too ego-based. But I don't feel like it's ego-based if you are that. Like, if you have the power, it's not ego because it's true. And then we have Sappho, the poetess. Oh, you know how to talk to people. The card says, I love every inch of my body, and I love the women in my life fiercely. So you could be someone who feels the need to protect other women, even women you don't know. You could be someone who feels a strong relationship with like sisterhood or friends. Even as a masculine, you may feel the desire to support causes that affect feminine energy. You may feel an innate need to protect your womb. You could be drawn to celibacy. And even as a masculine, your womb is your solar plexus, your center of creation. It doesn't have to be the physical manifestation. Yep, we got the pioneer that came out strong, leadership energy, but also what makes you attractive is people kind of really associate you heavily with relationships. We have the companion here. People want to be near you. You may notice that people become very easily codependent over you as well. You may notice that people, when you're around, kind of stop, thinking for themselves, and they kind of just want you to lead. And I feel like that could lead to some frustration even. The companion, it says loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. So it's like, I'm loyal to you, tenacity when it's time to get it cracking, when it's time to get things done. I'm in action, and I'm unselfish about it. When I give, I don't, expect it to be tit for tat. Okay, I gave this, so now you have to give this. It's like, if I have it, I give it, and I move on with my life. And because you have such a strong or such a full center of creation, it's truly like I can give something and literally move on. Doesn't have to be some deep thing. Doesn't even have to be, reciprocated a lot of the time, especially when we're talking about people that you really care about, because you just got it like that. We have the artist, not at all surprised to see this, strong creative energy. So people admire you because you're very powerful, artistic, someone that you want to be close to, someone that you want to have on your team. The artist, it says, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses and inspiring others to see life symbolically. So there's definitely an energy here of you wanting other people to kind of read between the lines and go deeper within themselves. And that's what comes with empowerment. It's like, I don't want you to be dependent on me. I want you to also identify your source of creation, and we can both be powerful together, because that way you have things you can give to me, I have things that I can give to you, and it could be reciprocal. Honestly, group one, you kind of give me lone wolf energy, because I can feel like a strong dependence from other people. As you evolve, as you get older, you may start to find yourself straying further and further away from friendship. I feel like earlier in life, you kind of see how much power you have, and you feel protective, especially some of you over feminine energy. So you may like really be about, wanting to make friends and really have that innate craving. But as you evolve, I feel like that goes away, because you realize how easily people get hooked on your energy, how easily people, really start to depend on you. And then it could even turn like shadowy, where people start to try to use you. So then it becomes a negative thing. So yeah, I kind of feel like this energy may evolve into something dark. And so you may just kind of pull yourself out of alignment with so many people. We have the child orphan here. It says independence based on learning to go at it alone and conquering the fear of surviving. So you have no fear. That's another, reason, definitely a reason why people really admire you, because when they're around you, they automatically feel safe because you don't really show fear. You may be really good with like saving face. You may have a poker face. it may not read, like if you're stressed out, it really doesn't read externally. People cannot tell because it's like you're really good at kind of keeping that poker face and keeping things to yourself. We have the pioneer. It says passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. So people really admire that you're creative with your expressiveness, creative with your look as well. And that goes back to what I was feeling in the beginning of the reading, where it's like, oh, you may have had some people copying you along the way. I'm also really noticing like this pattern of orange and yellow here. Orange, yellow, and red could be significant to you in some way. This deck has all sorts of colors. And from the first pull, you only got orange and red cards, yellow cards. That could be significant in some way. That could represent the sacral chakra or the root chakra and the solar plexus. You could feel a strong attraction to those chakras. Yep, then we got the Hermit. So it's like that adds to the mystery. Your person really likes how you will pull back your energy. If you have a crush, someone on your mind, one thing that they really like about you is you know when to pull back. You know when to hold it in, and it just pulls them back towards you. So it seems like you're really good with the art of attraction and the art of keeping someone's attention, because it's like you don't chase after people forever. It's like, okay, I'm gonna pull my energy back so you can come towards me, and they do. The Hermit, it says, seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal and also serves personal creativity. I feel like this one is something people really respect about you, because I don't feel like they like it, to be honest. I feel like people get frustrated about that when you need time, you will go and recharge your battery. People are mad that they don't have access to you. I'm really, really wanting to rate you quite high, at least a 9, to be honest, because I love this energy, this like dark masculine, dark feminine, feline energy, lone wolf energy. I have so much attraction and respect for those kind of archetypes. So it's like, for me, I'm definitely likely to rate you pretty high. Spirit, what do people think about Group 1? How do people see Group 1? What do they think about them? What do they think they have going on? How do people see them? It seems like you got things under control, but I'm definitely picking up on some darkness here. We got the Devil and the King of Wands. So people kind of feel like you may be into some odd or dark stuff. People may assume that you hang out at grave sites, or you may be into like, you know, taboo things. You could have a darker aesthetic. People may assume that when it comes to like sacral chakra activities that you're into taboo, like maybe subdom dynamics, or even like really out there stuff like, you know, vampire role play, but in a very real way where it's like, okay, we're actually breaking skin here. It's getting dark. Like it could be, people have like all of these, oh, I just heard fantasy. Oh no. So people fantasize about you quite a bit. And it can get very sacral chakra based, if you know what I mean. You could experience a lot of projection. I just heard top. People may assume you're top. Yeah, there's an energy here of people feeling like a very dominating King of Wands presence from you. But King of Wands is very attractive, very fun. It's fire energy. It's risky. It's dominant. Yeah, people assume that you're quite dominant. Oh, we got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So people assume that nothing on the surface is what it really is with you. People feel like you gotta have a double life that you live that no one knows about, and you do all this crazy stuff. Like people assume that you are your real self outside of work or outside of the friend group, outside of the gym, wherever people see you. It's like, no, I know that this person goes home and they got to be into some wild, like people fantasize about you quite a bit. We have the Death card reversed. Oh my gosh, I just heard torture. So people feel like, yeah, I'm seeing like a puppet master with the strings coming from the fingers. people kind of assume that you never let them go either. People find themselves stuck on you eternally, like forever. I mean, your first crush, the first person who ever thought about you, likely still thinks about you to this day. Shapeshifter I'm hearing as well. Now it's like going so dark. Where it's like you may literally look different under different lighting, and it may spook people a little bit. They may think that you are literally like a shape shifter. So people have a hard time figuring you out. I did hear fantasizing super strongly. So I feel like a huge part of this narrative is that people don't know. They don't know for fact what you have going on. So they got to make a lot of things up. We got the Chariot card here. The Six of Swords, I mean, their minds just go and go and go. Chariot card, Six of Swords is like, I will leave you behind. When it's time to move forward in my life, I will leave you behind without a second thought. So people feel a lot of instability when it comes to you. They feel like they can't control you. They can't fully figure you out. And a lot of people are curious about what you do in your private life. Six of Swords is kind of an energy of moving home or traveling a lot. So you could have a reputation of being someone who's constantly on the move or constantly recreating themselves, going to new places, doing a lot of experimenting. And the Chariot is about moving forward, but not just moving forward, but moving forward in balance with the yin and the yang. Usually the Chariot card has like a black horse and a white horse on it, because it's like, I move forward with my light side, with my higher self, but also with my shadow. My shadow is with me. I embrace it. I take it along. I don't leave it behind. I don't leave it at home. I'm not always the bigger person. You know, it's like an energy of, I accept myself fully. And I feel like people are intimidated by you, and I feel like people respect you. Intimidated and respect. We have the Knight of Swords, so it's like ready to go to war if that's what it is. You know, and I feel like it can be kind of shocking. I'm hearing 616 in LA. Specifically, the industry's cooked as I pick the carcass apart. Specifically that line. And I remember hearing that song for the first time and being so, I felt like fear. I was like, holy, like this song is dark. And you guys kind of just remind me of that archetype of just like that form of Kendrick where he just came out and was absolutely relentless. And when he had the intention of pulling away the illusion and just ripping, you know, completely ripping the veil so everyone could see what was really going on, it just gives me that kind of vibe. I'm hearing that song for whatever reason. So it's like people, I feel like they may even be extra nice to you or pretend to really like you or support you because they're intimidated by you as well. We got the Knight of Swords. If it's time to go to war, then that's what we're on. Spooky, spooky, spooky. You guys could be very drawn to dark magic, cemeteries, and Halloween even. We have the King of Pentacles reversed and the Five of Pentacles. So you have like a reputation or a image of, when you go, you take every last bit of your resources, every last bit of your investment. King of Pentacles reverse, you will leave people high and dry. When you rip the illusion, people realize they have nothing. For one, they've invested everything into you, all their time, energy, attention. For some people, their money and resources. But for two, it's like when you leave, it's not just you leaving, it's also you take all of the benefits, pleasure, blessings that come with you, and it's really jarring for people. So people feel so lost, like just SOL, completely SOL. Spirit, what can you tell us about group 1? We have Charity with prayer and contemplation, and Hilarion with divine healing, which is so crazy because I feel like your reading was like more of that vibe in the beginning and then it went totally left. Now I'm kind of feeling like group 1, you may be people's karma. it may be a part of your purpose to shock people. You could be like the karma for the player, for an example. Someone goes through a bunch of different people, they play them, leave them high and dry, and then they meet you and you're like the final boss. Charity, it says, connect with heaven, ask, and you shall receive. So your guides, your spirit team, they're like, listen, we're here for you. We're supporting you. If you feel depleted, ask us for help and we will re-nourish you or show you that there is more power within you. We'll bring that power back out of you, because it feels like you're kind of like a power bank where you don't really run out of power or energy. And a lot of times it's in your head, and you may have physical manifestations of your thoughts. So if you feel like everything has come crashing down, you may start to feel like your body is crashing, like I'm out of energy. We have Hilarion. It says, honor your sensitivity. Retreat. It says, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So yeah, it's giving, you can do both. You can be a strong healing force, or you could be a total destroyer, depending on the situation, depending on how people treat you. My goodness. Spirit, what else can you tell us for group 1? Yeah, and they're really not wanting you to feel guilty about your purpose. Not everyone has a love and light purpose, because the universe isn't just love and light. So why would that be the focus for every person? Every energy that you see exists in the universe. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transmuted. So that's your job as a transmuter, and you can't go head to head with a dark energy with a light energy. That's not how it works. It's kind of like, you know, say you have a Karen turning up on you in public. Are you going to try to say, no, just calm down, it's going to be okay? Or are you going to get right with that lady so she understands that she cannot, you know, like, sometimes you need to be able to match that energy, that frequency. So we have trust. It says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So even when you feel like you do too much, or you feel bad after you know, play your role and you do the karma thing, Spirit is really calling you to trust that it is a part of your purpose, and it's meant to be lived out that way. And we have the peace card. So I feel like it may be a good time to retreat, and maybe even, you know, move and not giving anyone your new address, your new information, or maybe just change your number, so that you can kind of have a restart, delete your social media, make a new one, if you're feeling that. Peace says, I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. So you're meant to transmute this energy. That's how you don't end up holding on to it. So lean into the spiritual baths, keep up with your spiritual cleansing, especially if Spirit is leading you towards a specific form of cleansing. That is what I have for you, group 1. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you'd like your own private tarot reading or any of my other magical offerings, that is where you can find you, girl. And that's what I got for you today. I'll talk to you soon. All right, if you chose group 2 with the Yellowstone and the Teddy Tarot, this is your reading, tapping in to see what makes you attractive. How attractive are you? 1 to 10. Why do people admire you? What do they like about you? What is your person like about you? We'll get all of that, Spirit. For group 2 with the Yellowstone, please show us for group 2. What do people admire about group 2? What do people like about them? What makes group 2 attractive? Why are people drawn to group 2? You could be naturally lucky, or when people are around you, they start to experience random luck. It definitely seems like group 2, you could be one of those people where it's like when you lose a friend or when people drift away from you, they start to experience bad luck. Wouldn't be surprised if you've gotten accused before of like, did you do spell work on me, or did you do something to me, because all of a sudden everything is going bad. I wouldn't be surprised if you got that kind of response from people either. Let's start with that. We got Miss Lakshmi herself, the goddess of abundance. It says, I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. So you definitely value yourself and you know yourself. You would consider yourself to be high value, someone who's attractive. And I just heard gatekeep. So you may feel the need to gatekeep yourself, not even because it's like, oh, I'm so, obsessed with myself. You could be, but it's not like that. It's more like because you know how you are received externally. You know how blessings, abundance comes to people who deal with you. So it's like, yeah, I gotta, put tax on it because people are going to receive when they're connected with me. You may have a lot of knowledge about a bunch of different subjects. You could be someone who's action oriented, always got a plan. If there's an issue, you have a solution. So there's value to that. We have Pope Joan, the pontiff of possibilities. It says, the possibilities are limitless because my soul is limitless. So it definitely feels like you have your own bank of wealth and abundance within you and you've tapped into it. You could be someone who was drawn to magic at a young age. You could be someone who was drawn to spirituality at a young age. And you may have even had like kind of freaky experiences in childhood where you, I don't even know what to use as an example, but where you had whatever your spiritual gift is, you may have had an experience with it for the first time when you were like very young, like 5, like young. We have Green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. It says, my soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels you to do. I'm feeling a strong psychic energy with you guys as well. I feel like you're kind of like a human lie detector. People cannot lie to you. And it's crazy because as soon as I said that, I started to feel like, and I don't even care type of energy where it's like, there's no point to lie to me because I don't even care that much about what the truth is. I'm not going to judge you, or I'm just not interested enough with, kind of like what everybody has going on to feel the need to control everything. So it's like, you really don't have to lie to me. It is what it is and it can be what it is kind of thing. So anyways, I feel like you're highly psychic, intuitive, and very tapped in. And I feel like that even makes people a bit intimidated of you. We have the Shekinah, the priestess of the divine feminine. It says, at the center of everything, there is light. And I am that light. This is my cocky card, okay? This is my card for those who have very high self-confidence, those who believe in themselves. So it seems like you believe in yourself. And this is what makes you attractive. You will bet on yourself and you trust yourself. And there's an energy of other people wanting to believe you, other people trusting you as well, really weighing your opinion quite heavily. It's almost like people kind of treat your words as if it's God speaking, like they take it so seriously. We have Yemaya, the goddess of all that flows. I am the ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. So your creativity and whatever is within you internally, it definitely has an external expression. This could be in the way you dress. This could be energetic, but people can see physical reflections of whatever you have inside externally. So if that's wealth and luck, people can see you have maybe like rare things, like say you're waiting in queue for tickets and it's like nobody gets tickets. You could be one of those person that gets tickets. Or I'm actually seeing like the cloth from the, what is that called? It's the cube. It's the cube that's worshipped for a religion. It's the black cube, but I forget exactly what it's called. I'm seeing the cloth from that though. So one person in this group has a piece of that cloth. And I know that it's very hard to get. And I'm almost positive you have to be given that. You would be given that like from royalty. I don't know exactly how that works in that religion and whatnot, but I'm seeing that specifically. But it seems like whether it's artifacts or the job you have or the house you have, the car you have, people can see a physical manifestation of your internal luck or of your internal psychic gifts. So you could have won the lottery before, if it's a reflection of your psychic gifts, or you could have a lot of predictions. You could say things before they happen. That could be the physical manifestation of what's inside, depending on what's inside. And all of us are different. All of us have different spiritual gifts. So a very spiritual, strong vibe here. Let's keep going. How do people see group 2? What do they find attractive about group 2? I'm hearing jealousy. I'm actually hearing a song. I'm pretty sure that's by Paris Hilton. Old song. Yeah, I'm hearing that. Jealousy. So you could have experienced a lot of people jealous when it comes to you. Let's start with the first card here. We have the Damsel. It says, understands the nature of a romance, of healthy romance, and helps you rely on yourself, inspires you to rely on yourself. So people are very naturally motivated by you. People want to be like you. They may want to be you, to be honest. You may have noticed people kind of copying the way that you dress, or I'm hearing actually the way that you talk, things that you say. If you're funny, for an example, your one-liners, oh, trust and believe those one-liners get used in other friend groups. It's like they hear you say something really funny and then they go and around a different group of friends or their family, whoever, and they say that same joke as if they're the creator of that joke or as if they're the funny one, and people are just dying laughing thinking it's so funny, and really that's all you, group 2. There's a lot of stuff like that where people may go into different spaces and then act like you, or not cosplay. I just heard cosplay you. We have the Mediator, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy and personal and professional life, respect for both sides of the argument. That just brings me back to, I don't really care. I can see both sides, like Chanel. I am not going to judge you for your opinion. And also, I mean, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a different point of view. It doesn't mean very much to me. So very nonchalant, too cool for school kind of personality where nothing really rattles you. Nothing really, like, everybody has things that they're passionate about, but you're not going to argue someone down about their opinion. It just kind of feels like I could see both sides, or I'm kind of just invested in what I have going on. You know what? I'm getting a solid 8 at least. Solid 8 out of 10. I like this powerful, confident energy. Me personally, I have a lot of attraction towards people who are sure of themselves. Even if you're, you know, super basic and you love your, you know, frappe and you you love your Ugg boots. Like, you could be the most basic person, but if you embrace who you are, I love that. I just love to see that. So I'm definitely inclined to naturally give a high rating for this one. Okay, so we have the Athlete. It says dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So if there is anything that people would see as a condition that is negative, you make it positive. And I see this a lot with like the spectrum becoming very popular and talked about, and neurodivergence and all these different, you know, forms of mental capacity, all these different forms of receiving information and how you engage with the world and with stimuli. I see it becoming so popular. So you could be someone who's like totally neurodivergent, or you could be someone who has a unique condition, even a physical condition, and you don't allow that to hold you back, and you don't see yourself negatively because of that. That may take time in evolution, but by the end of your evolution, it's going to be something empowering. And for some of you, you may even find a way to leverage that and make it make you money. Or you may find a way to leverage that condition and some way, somehow get you know, taken care of through that. We have the Hermit card. It says seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life and serves personal creativity. So you use your creative energy for you, your creativity, and you take time to recharge and focus on yourself and your inner life, and just spend time with yourself. Like when you need time or when you want time. You could be someone who's like an ambivert. Some of the time when you're out here, okay? You have a great time, you're extroverted, but when you're, you know, not feeling extroverted, you're totally within yourself, doing your own thing, focusing on your own life. And then we have the Engineer. It says ability to give and receive creative energy and expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So you don't let anything hold you back. You're definitely someone where it's like, okay, if there's a problem, I'm going to find a solution, or I'm going to find a way to make this work for me, or I'm somehow going to monetize this, get money from this. Spirit, so if they have a crush, someone on their mind, what does that person admire about group 2? What do romantic interests or their crush admire about them? You definitely seem very passionate, and I also just heard tiny. So for like maybe a few of you, you may be very small in some way or petite, or you could have a appearance that looks totally innocent, but a very fiery attitude. We have the Page of Swords, so it kind of feels like someone who's super small trying to accomplish like something huge, and your person finds it really cute and endearing. They also love how passionate you get. We have the Fool card here, so it's like, listen, if I gotta pack up, leave, and go to the next phase, I will do that. Or if there is something that's calling me, something that I'm interested in, I will throw myself into that thing. I will start that new, whatever it is. It could even be like a hobby or a new interest you have. You will just go for it, and you don't allow anyone or anything to hold you back. Also, I'm feeling that they love how creative you are and how you can make a fun experience out of very little financially. Like I'm seeing an appreciation for, it could be in a creative way, you could be really into crafting, but I'm also seeing like a little creative, like a paint night, for example. You could go to the dollar store and you can get a bunch of paint activities, and you can set up a whole, thing and make it really cute and really fun, but it was like really cheap, like under 20 bucks. Whereas if you had someone do this for you, it'd be like $200, like something insane. I'm seeing stuff like that where it's like your person really likes how you can have fun wherever. Even if you're by yourself, I'm now seeing someone with a drink dancing with themselves like at a bar. Just spinning around the dance floor. So it's like you seem really comfortable in your own energy. We have the Lovers reversed and the Tower reversed. So Tower reversed, you're someone who doesn't bring a bunch of drama into the function. This person really likes that. They like how your energy is also more you focused. So it's not like, okay, I'm gonna, create problems for other people. It's like, I'm gonna be in my own little chaotic bubble and just in my own head and doing my own thing. And we have the Lovers reverse. So it's like, it seems like you're very detached from people romantically. It seems like no one can really catch you slipping for too long. This could also be a willingness to walk away romantically, where it's like, okay, if you're not interested anymore, like that's life. It is what it is. I'm not going to stay stuck on you forever. I'm not going to chase you. And also, I'm not even obsessed with love. You may be more obsessed with people, or not even obsessed, but just interested in people and their story. You may see people as more than just, oh, this is a romantic option. This could be my next bae. It could be like, no, I'm very curious of what this person has gone through. I wonder what their soul says. I want to see the depth. I want to see the character. I want to see the dark, even, the ugly. So we have the Ace of Cups reversed and the Seven of Swords reversed. So you seem to be a generally good person. With that Seven of Swords reversed, this is almost giving me an energy of you have pretty privilege, or whatever the masculine equivalent would be, but you don't use it to your advantage. Seven of Swords can be a card of kind of doing people dirty. It can be a card of being mischievous and very self-serving. And with the Ace of Cups reversed, you definitely could do a lot worse than you do. People see you as someone with high character. I feel like your person, your crush, and romantic interest in general, they really trust you. I feel like they have a hard time investing in you because of the fear of it not being reciprocated, or the fear of Lovers reversed. You may honestly have a lot of people who crush on you, or a lot of people that tell you that there's romantic attraction, and then you kind of burst their bubble like, no, there actually isn't romantic attraction. It's not mutual. That's on you. So it makes people a little afraid. It makes them like afraid to admit how they really feel, because they kind of have a hard time reading you even. You may find out in time that a lot of people like you, but they try to kind of hide their feelings. And if you're someone who's very intuitive or psychic, you pick up on that easy as pie. What else can you tell us for group 2? We have Archangel Michael and light activation. Archangel Michael says, trust heaven, you are safe. Angels stand close, surrender your concerns and allow miracles to occur. Light activation says, shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So I definitely feel like you're intuitive. I definitely feel a strong psychic energy with this group, mediumship, all sorts of psychic gifts. So whatever your psychic gift is specifically, you may know what it is already, but it feels very strong. It feels like it's hard to ignore. And Spirit is really wanting you to trust your intuition because it is speaking to you loud and clear. It's accurate. It's spot on. The more you trust it, the more you will see that it's rarely wrong. And if it is wrong, it could be one of those things where it's like you hear the right answer first and then you hear something else right after and you go with the second answer and it's the first answer kind of thing, where it's like the intuition was spot on, but then your conscious mind tries to mimic the intuition so you can trust your conscious mind more. Tricky little thing. And then you end up saying the second answer. We have the White Eagle Ancestor Spirit, Mother Mary with love and peace, and Saint Germain with karma releasing. Karma releasing, it says, move beyond drama, create your own path, and make room for good energy. So people could be wanting to kind of keep you, stuck or engaging in drama. And Spirit is definitely saying that that's not what your gifts are supposed to be used for, to kind of like suss out what this shady person is doing. It's better to just say, okay, I can obviously tell that this person is shady. Let me actually just disengage so they cannot energy harvest me. We have Mother Mary, love and peace. It says, let go of the need to be right, choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. If you have a mother wound, or if you've experienced trauma or issues from a feminine energy in this life, I see that transmuting. I see that transmuting. I see you moving beyond that, and maybe even for some of you moving into empathy and kind of feeling bad for that person. The Ancestor Spirit, it says, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. So that's very interesting. You may have experienced a lot of tension with family, specifically people in your direct household, like growing up. Extended family should be fine for the most of you. But there could definitely be a wound with family that is trying to be transmuted at this time. And I feel like it is related to your spiritual gifts. I feel like it's related to what makes you attractive and why people are adoring of you, because not everyone has those qualities. So to come through and to be so strong, it could have created some jealousy. I'm so grateful I've never experienced that from a parent, but I don't know what that's like. That has got to be insane, to have like that negative energy literally coming from the person that, no way. So crazy. We have change and humor. Change says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So there's definitely some new energy coming to you. And I even feel like a separation group too. So you may be separated from people who you are around currently. Spirit may be redirecting you somewhere else and placing you somewhere else. Humor says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. So engaging in humor would be really good for you. Laughter. There's this book, I think it's a book. It's about how the body keeps the score. And I bring that up because the body is conscious. So when you're laughing, your body is going to perceive that your life is more enjoyable. Your body is not just going to say, take it as, they're just scrolling on their phone or they're watching a funny movie. The body is going to keep the score and say, we're laughing. We're enjoying life. Our life is better. So the more you laugh, it's not just, in a cheesy way so you can be happy, but like not really, but not deep down. But it's so that you can actually kind of trick your nervous system into going back into a really positive direction, and your belief shapes your manifestation. So if your body believes that you're happy, you're going to manifest, better things. So that's definitely a hack for you. But yeah, that's what I got for you, group 2. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you'd like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And that's what I got for you today. I'll talk to you soon. All right, if you chose group 3 with the red diamond and the traditional manga tarot, this is your reading, tapping in to see what makes you attractive. How attractive are you? What does your person like about you? Your crush, new romantic interest, how do they see you? What do they like about you, Spirit, for group 3? Why do people admire you? Please show us for group 3 why they are admired. Why do people like them? Why are people drawn to them? So I'm definitely picking up on some dark feminine, dark masculine archetype energy right away. Also picking up on some misunderstood archetypes. Ooh, a lot of fierce archetypes. We got Anana that came up. I freaking love her. She does not play though. Do not petition her if you're not about that action. She does not play. And we have Lala. I was so expecting Lilith to come out just now. Okay, so we have Mary Magdalene that showed up for you though. The apostle to the apostles. So I would, look up some of her lore. Mary Magdalene, because they say that she was really on the level of, the main character himself. So look into that. It says, I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Now, who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? Yeah, get into it. Get into it. We have Inanna that has come out. The queen of heaven and earth. So this whole deck is not about heaven and earth. So that is so strange how you got the 2 cards that mention heaven and earth on the cards showing up in one setting. That's super, super strange. Okay. I have nothing to hide. I see all that I am and I accept all that I am. So definitely a strong, even like a dark feminine archetype. But there's an energy here of perhaps people writing or, I want to say like writing your history in a way that is inaccurate. But in a present time sense, this would look like people repeating scenarios, things that you have been involved in a way that isn't accurate, isn't true. You may find that people put a lot of extra sauce on things that have happened with you. You may find that people even go out of their way to misinterpret or communicate the way things actually went down when you are included. There's an energy of people feeling like they have to control the narrative when it comes to group 3. Like it's so, so strong and so controlling. It's like people want to put you in a straitjacket. Even the memory of you, the idea of you, thoughts of you, they want to water it down. You may notice that when people communicate to you, they may try to say you accomplished something big and it's like, say you got your master's degree. Someone would say, anyone could get a master's, and then you could be like, well, why don't you have one? Soon as I pick up the deck, I cut the deck, we got the magician themselves here. So very strong alchemical energy. Seems like you have a lot of power. We have Sarada Devi, the Divine Mother. It says, unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. And I feel like an energy of you forgiving people because you understand them more than they understand them. You may look at people and it may literally resonate. It may look like crabs in a barrel. When you're looking at people, it's like they don't even know how misguided they are. They don't even know how conflicted they are, or you could think of like 5 things at the top of your head that could make someone better or their life better, and it would be so easy for them to tap in and do those things, but they don't see the world that way. You could see people as kind of like small-minded. It kind of seems like you have a higher perspective than most people. You could have gotten comments like about being mature for your age as well. We have Khadijah, the mother of believers. It says, I am spiritually and financially abundant. Nice. I provide heaven and earth for myself. What the heck is going on? I'm like, this deck does not talk about heaven and earth a lot. Why are we getting all the cards that say that? All these other cards I'm looking at do not say that. Why do we keep getting that? It's like freaky to me. I'm like, whenever we get that much synchronicity, I'm like, what is actually going on? I still get shook when spirit gets to speaking. I still get shook as if I haven't been reading cards for years. And then we have Lala, the saint of spoken words. It says, every word I say becomes a prayer, and I am the author of my own story. So yeah, there's an energy that keeps coming back referring to heaven, prayer, religion. There could be nuances between you and religion in some way, somehow. You could have experienced a lot in life through church or through religion. You could be very spiritual. That could be one of the things for you to overcome in this life, is accepting your spirituality, or accepting that you are more spiritual than religious. You could have had people wanting you to sing, wanting you to dance when you were younger at church, specifically, like really wanting to get you involved in church. You could even attract romantic partners who are heavily involved in church. And it just kind of feels like, now I'm seeing Megan Good, and I do know that Megan Good used to be married to a pastor of a church. So that's so interesting how I just randomly saw her coming into my mind. So I feel like, you know, there could be this desire to control you. You could attract people who are very religious. You could even just attract people who are very conventional or very traditional. And if you don't see yourself that way, it's like there could be a weird power dynamic going on there where people feel like if they can conquer you, it's kind of like they're taming some wild, uncontrollable, like Lilith type energy. My goodness, let's keep going. Spirit, what makes them attractive? So right away, listen, it's all 10s here. I mean, let's be, you know, let's not go too far. Let's say a solid 9, but really it's like, this pile really has my attention. You feel very enigmatic. You feel very powerful. And I really feel like people have an innate desire to control you or to tame you or to own you. I feel like you're aware of that, though. We got the trickster that just came out and the healer here. So it's like you do have powers of healing. You do have strong powers of, one of the cards we're talking about, unconditional love. Absolutely. But you also have the ability to finesse people. It's like people try to control you, and you have like your third eye active AF. So you can see straight through people. I feel like you can pick up on people's intentions like that, like instantly. And so soon as you see that person, you know, making their plans, smirking in the corner about what they're going to try to do with you, immediately you go into trickster mode and you finesse the out of them. They don't stand a chance. You do not appreciate that energy. We got the alchemist that came out. I was feeling that super strong when I pulled the magician. Strong alchemical energy here. Wow, you guys are really cool. The trickster, it says transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. So as soon as people think that they got you, they lose all access. As soon as people feel like they have you, you remind them that they do not. And it is very shocking because I feel like you play a role as well. So when it's kissy, kissy, love, love, it's kissy, kissy, it's lovey, lovey. But as soon as you are offended, as soon as someone crosses you, they see that other side of you and they did not expect it. They did not expect it at all. And it hits 10 times harder because I don't feel like people see your dark side until it exerts its dominance. Like until you don't show your dark side just for fun. You kind of keep that tucked away. That could even be something that you're obsessed with. Like you have your own dark side, things that you research at night that are taboo, whatever. Like you have a side of yourself you don't show other people. But as soon as they try to cross you, oh, they see it. And it's got some bite to it, and it could be very scary. The alchemist, it says transformation of motives and goals into golden wisdom. So you know how to get to the bag. You know how to get what you want. You know how to transmute even feelings and emotions. You could be very good with getting over people. When it's time to go, when it's time to move on, when you let go, it feels like you really let go for good. But you don't let go until you're good and ready. We have the Queen. It says radiates a regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So you're definitely someone people want to have around. There's a protective energy when it comes to you. And I feel like there's a protective energy because you're intimidating. I feel like that's what makes it protective. It's not that you go out of your way to coddle people or to protect them just for no reason, as if you're like a hero. You could be more anti-hero type of vibes where it's like, no, I don't believe in saving people, but being around you is naturally protective because of who you are. We have the Healer. It says passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. The ability to help transform pain into healing. Definitely with those ties to that alchemical energy. I want one more. One more for group 3. Why do people admire them? Why are people drawn to them? We have the Guide. You're just tapped in. It says, represents the nature of the divine and life in yourself. Another card hinting towards heaven. Another card pointing towards the divine and higher powers. Yo. And that's the thing, you know, because the times were different, Mary Magdalene could not be respected as a leader. She could not be acknowledged as someone, especially in history. I mean, it's HIS history. What are we saying? She could not be seen as someone who is a leader, but, you know, if you really look into real depictions of Mary Magdalene and the true stories, not just the story that they wanted to include in the main text, but other collections of stories, you'll hear that she was just as tapped in, if not more, than your boy. I'm saying, like, get into it. Oh my goodness. You're bringing me to church group 3. You're a 10. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I like never give 10s because it's like, I mean, a 10 really perfect, but it's like, so I just feel like the spirit in this reading. I feel like something is taking over. I'm getting warm and I'm feeling something. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling something. Let's keep going. You have a very powerful spirit and you can touch people even in places that you aren't. I'm also seeing that people may experience you in the astral. Like people may say, I dreamt about you last night, or you may find that one day people are really open, they have a great time with you, and then the next day they kind of avoid you or they act scary. Yeah, that's because they had some sort of freaky experience with you spiritually. You could have literally went to travel to them in the astral. They could have seen you as a ghost. I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that. But there's like an energy of appearing more than one place. What in the multiverse is going on? Spirit. So let's switch gears. How about romantic interest, Spirit? Can you show us how their crush, how their person, how romantic interests see them, what they like about them? Holy, like there is such a strong energy here. Such a strong spiritual energy. It's like, I feel like I'm getting possessed. I need to go hold you. I'm like, I can feel... I do so much spiritual protection because I work cards every day that you're tapping into so many different energies and communicating even with, you know, higher level entities and things like that at times. So you got to really do a lot of spiritual protection if you're a reader so that they don't think they can just come up and do whatever. So when you put so many boundaries around yourself, and when I start to feel that energy, like, ooh, there's a spirit trying to get in, or there's a spirit that is getting in, it's very, very rare. And I feel that right now, but it feels very exciting. It feels more like an energy. It doesn't feel dark at all. It just feels like just tapping into the womb, straight up power, full energy. Like, what the heck? I feel like I just had a shot of espresso. Like, I feel so hyped. You could have a very hype and chaotic energy as well. You may find yourself even getting overwhelmed where it feels like you just randomly have to scream because you just need to exert the energy, or you may, you know how some guys will just randomly start boxing. You may do that as well. or you may constantly crave adventure. Yeah, Spirit is showing me like skydiving. Like you may crave danger and adventure. You may really feel called to push the limits, even when it comes to like spice, trying different foods. It doesn't have to be super like out of this world, higher level. It could just like, there's an energy of testing the limits here. You may genuinely enjoy testing the limits of other people. And I'm seeing this in a way where it's kind of like poking the bear. So in a way where it can kind of, you know, kind of make people feel annoyed, or like you're infiltrating their energy. You may try to piss people off. If you know they have an anger issue or something like that, you may try to like, how far can I take this? Or when it comes to like relationships, how much can I be a brat? How much are they going to take? And it just kind of seems like people never exhaust when it comes to you. They will keep giving more and more. You're allowed to cross every single boundary that someone has. My goodness. Okay, so we got the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck and the 2 of Cups here. I feel like a lot of people think you're their soulmate, group 3. And I feel like a lot of people fall in love with you. We even have the Death card reversed here. So people stay stuck on you for years, if not forever. You could, you know, especially with all that spiritual activity and being in more than one place at a time, you may literally, like, when people tap into your energy, it's not just like, oh, I'm seeing their name everywhere. They may see an apparition of you or your shadow, or smell your cologne, your perfume, like strong spiritual experiences. It feels like they cannot avoid you. It feels like people cannot get away from you in any way until you're good and ready, until you let go. And I feel like a lot of this you may not even be conscious of because it is energetic. So your crush, what do they like about you? So they definitely feel like they're under your spell. We have the 2 of Cups with the Death card reversed. They can't stop thinking of you. They feel quite obsessed with you. 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. They can't help but to fantasize what a happily ever after would look like with you, or what your kids would look like. The kids on the card, having a family with you, or living with you, being with you long term, or married in a serious kind of way. We have the Chariot card here. So also it kind of seems like you're a butterfly that they're trying to catch. You're always whoop, 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 moving positions, and it keeps them engaged. This could be the way that you're always interested in new things. This could be in a way that you present yourself. It just kind of seems like you're always in a constant state of movement. You're always presenting yourself differently. And this could be literal in terms of your aesthetic. You could dress based on how you feel versus having a specific aesthetic. Because it seems like you're constantly in motion, hard to catch, hard to pin down, hard to understand. As soon as you feel like you got a handle on group 3, boom, it's like you move again, and it keeps people engaged. We have the 5 of Pentacles reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed. So people feel like they can just be themselves around you. Your crush, romantic interest, they feel like you will accept them in whatever form that they are. You will adjust to them. You could be like the ideal lover archetype if you've heard Robert Greene's archetypes. It's from the Art of Seduction. If you look up the audiobook actually on YouTube, you can, usually people will pin in the comments the archetype, so you could like go to a video. Art of Seduction audiobook, and you can look through the comments, and usually in the top few comments you'll be able to find, you know, the pins. Listen to that, because I feel like you'll resonate with it in a lot. Or maybe even the Coquette as well. But we have the 6 of Swords reversed. So people have a hard time moving on from you. And honestly, I don't feel like they want to. They don't want to move on. They don't want to let go. You could even have like, you know, a crazy ex that refuses to let go. Spirit, what else can you tell us about group 3? The energy finally cooled down. So I wonder if you're consciously aware of your energy and how it affects other people. This could even be just naturally when people tap into you. They often feel excited. They start acting out of character and whatnot. But it almost feels like a switch flipped and it just turned off and it just stopped. So I kind of feel like I was tapping into your energy and you were like, okay, let me consciously pull back my energy, or okay, let me chill out, or like it kind of just went away. and it feels like it's completely gone now, which is weird because typically energy will linger and it takes a while to dial down when it's that strong. That is so strange. We have Lord Ganesh with infinite abundance. It says obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. Nice. So I feel like Spirit is actually aligning you with people who can benefit you as much as you benefit them. So in your next, phase of life, as you transition, you could feel like you're in a gray area right now. You could feel like you're in limbo, hearing the waiting room, whatever that means for you. You could feel like you're there and you're about to kind of burst through to the next space, and there will be better, more helpful people, more people like you on the other side. We have Sanat Kumara with light activation. It says, shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So I definitely get an energy of your intuition being spot on. Don't doubt it. It is legit. And Spirit is saying, listen, don't water yourself down. Shine that light. My goodness. That's what I got for you, Group 3. All 10s. All 10s. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you'd like your own private tarot reading or any of my other magical offerings, that is where you can find me. And that's what I got for you today. I'll talk to you soon. All right, if you chose Group 4 with the green diamond and the Rider-Waite Tarot, this is your reading. Tapping in to see what is attractive about you, what makes you attractive, why do people admire you, how does your person see you, what do they like about you? We'll get into all of that, Spirit, for Group 4. Group 4 with the greenstone. Please show us for Group 4. What makes them attractive? Why do people admire Group 4? Why are they drawn to Group 4? All right, let's talk about it. Ooh, there's some mystery with you a little bit. We have the Black Madonna here. It says, Our Lady of Hermits. It says, I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. So there's an energy here of maybe you've kind of gone through some low vibrational, some hard stuff, some way, somehow. You have transmuted it and it's made you better. When people send you negative energy, it feels like you transmute that energy into energy that you can use. So the more people focus on you, the more people, try to hurt you or affect you. It's like, I am rubber, you are glue. Everything you say bounces off to me and it sticks to you, but let me do you one better. I'll actually take that energy consciously and I'll use it to be even better. So when people, if anyone has ever tried to attack you, I'm feeling this strongly in a work sense. Say you're at work and people try to mess with you, they could literally finesse you into a better position, into better pay. They could end up, putting themselves in a worse position or getting fired trying to mess with you. I just heard the Queen of Unbothered, so you could have a strong feminine unbothered energy or even the King of Unbothered energy. We have the Queen of Saintly Women. It says, I am in service of divine love and I move the way that my love asks me to move. So it seems like a lot of your lessons in life, Group 4, may have come through relationships. It seems like a lot of the things that you've experienced have been because you were used almost like as a spiritual tool to show people real love or to heal people. And that can be one of the things that you really do not enjoy, or that has caused you pain in this life. We have the patroness of miraculous healing. You could be a healer, but not wannabe. The card is interesting though. It says, I am ready to heal and I am worthy of the miracles that are meant for me. So it feels like you're in your taking your power back era and you're channeling all that negative energy that you've experienced from other people into something that now benefits you. it seems like people have tried to, for whatever reason, they want to mess with you or they want to control you. And you're now learning how to transmute that energy, or you're now taking the blessings that may be meant for other people for yourself. It's like, okay, I was the healer, but now I'm about to get healed. So you could be in a very empowered energy. I'm picking up on someone who had a glow up, like a physical glow up that changed the way that people perceive you. So before the glow up, you could have been the healer, but now after the glow up, it seems like everyone wants to give to you. Everybody wants to see how they can be of service to you. And it feels like things are shifting. We have the diamond-hearted Dakini. It says, I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. So you don't allow your shadow side to hold you and to make you feel low. You don't allow your shadow to intimidate you. It seems like you're embracing your shadow. I'm definitely getting like a good girl gone bad type of energy, or whatever the, masculine equivalent would be. But I'm definitely feeling like, the person who was always love and light, the person who was always, just trying to experience love or love other people, or always nice, people pleasing. Definitely it feels like that is changing. And I'm also feeling like Spirit is telling me externally. So it could be, instead of internal, it could be more external, whereas you always looked kind of innocent or kind. And now you're showing up in like more edgy aesthetics, more sexy, more empowered, even more revealing clothing. We have Diana, the queen of the wilderness. It says, the language of the natural world is a frequency of love, and this is my mother tongue. So you could be very connected to nature, definitely getting strong nature goddess vibes. You could be drawn to beings that exist in nature, like fairies, for an example, nature spirits. Spirit, why do people find group 4 attractive? What makes them attractive? Why do people admire them? So you definitely I feel like people are fascinated with you, group 4. It feels like you get a strong energy of fascination from people, and it's because of that transition. It's because of that transformation that you've gone through. A lot of people are like fascinated with you. It's like I see people watching you with their mouth open, like ready to see your next move. You may notice that as well. You may notice a lot of like spam accounts or bot accounts, or, just fake accounts following you, watching you, interactions when it comes to like your story. Yeah, there could be an energy of a lot of people online trying to follow you, but it feels like people that you know in real life, but it's like they're trying to view you without being seen themselves. They don't want you to know that they're watching and that they're tuned in. Dang, we got this divine masculine energy coming through. We got the king. So you give strong daddy energy. I'm starting to kind of feel like some of you have gone from a feminine dominant energy and now to a masculine dominant energy, where you're more about action. And it doesn't mean that you're super ambitious and you're always hustling and doing the most, but when it comes to the decisions you make, you take definitive action. So like, whereas you would keep responding if someone were to text you, if you don't want to talk to them, you're not going to respond. Like, you take definitive action. You make solid decisions based on how you feel and what you want, and you don't feel bad about it anymore. Masculine. The king, it says, enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge. So people who serve you, people who are on your team seem to win. We have the Samaritan here. You're an enigma for sure. I'm feeling a solid 8 at a minimum. I mean, come on. This energy is very unique. It's very different. People have a hard time understanding you. I feel like they can't control you either, and that just keeps them more interested. But I definitely feel a strong energy of fascination specifically. People are fascinated with you. They have to know your next move. They have to know what you're doing, and people want to do what you're doing. People may want to invest in the way that you invest, make money the way that you make money. dress the way that you dress, act the way that you act. The Samaritan, it says, refines your capacity to help others that you would prefer to ignore. So it seems like you're now in an energy where you're facing things head on. People can't get you to focus on them if you don't want to focus on them. But when you have someone coming at you, it's like you don't cower, you don't avoid the conflict anymore. You will look at people directly in their eye. Like, say there's someone, you know, kind of creepy around you and they're low key, like kind of following you around and whatnot. You will turn around and stare that person directly in their face until they feel uncomfortable. Like, there's an energy of you being very head on now and unafraid. We have the Thief. It says, sheds light on the potential for wealth within you that can never be stolen. So you know your power. You don't allow people to use you. You don't allow people to take your power. It's like now you're turned on. You're fully aware. It definitely feels like at a certain point in your journey or when you were younger, you were not afraid of all the power that you have. It definitely feels like you're now becoming aware of your power or your value. We have the Alchemist, transformation of motives and goals into golden wisdom. So you've learned from your mistakes. I just keep getting a glow up energy. And now I just heard knock down 9 times, I get up 10. So you could have experienced some sort of loss, like a big loss within the last year or recently. And you've bounced back from that. And a better, more, it's a different evolution, like a video game. I'm seeing it like that. Like a video game where there's different evolvements of the same character. And with the new evolvement, there will likely be like a new outfit. That's literal. You may literally dress differently, look differently, have a different hair. I'm also seeing orange hair, experimenting with your hair. It's like you have a new skin. We have the Mystic. It says revels in the intimate union with the divine. So it seems like you are okay alone. That is another reason why people are very attracted to you, because you're literally okay being by yourself. And also I feel like you've tapped into a higher knowledge, a higher power, the higher power, and you're feeling that. And it's like you're very aware of how spirit is communicating with you. And you're protecting that relationship that you have with the divine, like it's a diamond, and not sharing with anyone else. You may talk to yourself a lot. People may see you laughing to yourself a lot. I'm just picking up on that, and people kind of looking at you like, is group 4 okay? Why are they cackling by themselves in the corner like Helga from Hey Arnold? Why is she laughing in her closet? What is going on? I was just tapping into that. But yeah, I'm getting a strong energy of you being connected with the higher power, and you receive messages. I also see that your spiritual gifts are increasing. So you may start to have some freaky things happen. You may start to hear, like clairaudience. I think that's the right one, where you hear the messages. You may start to develop that spiritual gift. So if you're hearing things, that's definitely real. You're picking up on different frequencies. Spirit is showing me like a radio tuning in. You could also intentionally tune in to frequencies that you want, like a radio. Spirit is showing me. So if you want to tune into the frequency of abundance, Spirit is saying you have access to it within. You don't have to play abundance calling music. You know, you don't have to do the most for it. It's like internal. All right, let's switch gears. Spirit, for group 4, so their person, romantic interest, their crush, or, you know, new romantic interest, how do they see them? What did they like about group 4? Oh, we got the Sun card with the 4 of Wands reversed. Wow. It seems like you do not care to be married. You do not care to be wifed up. You do not care to be in a relationship. Sun card, you are blessed by spirit. And it just, again, it seems like you don't even want to share the blessings that spirit has for you. It seems like you're in your selfish era. It seems like you're in your era where it's like, I am receiving all the blessings and abundance that is meant for me, and no, I'm not sharing. You have to work to get to this level of spiritual intimacy with the divine, and I'm not putting you on and connecting you with the divine when you effed off all the time that you had to work on yourself and level up. I don't feel like you're saving people anymore, which is so crazy because the beginning of this reading was so healing based. The beginning of this reading was so like lover, healer, there for you. But I just feel like that is not the case anymore. Not that the power has gone away. You could still, you know, heal someone, help them if you want to, but it has to be if you want to. I'm hearing Needed Me by Rihanna. People need you to be popping. People need you to be successful. We got the Six of Wands, or sorry, the Six of Cups that was trying to come out. You may get a lot of old romantic love offers. You know, people find themselves stuck on you. We got the Six of Cups here. You could have people that you went to school with crushing on you. You could have people from your past crushing on you or trying to reconnect with you. Your current romantic interest, if you do have one, or new ones. Sun card with the Four of Wands, see you as someone who cannot be claimed or tamed. Now I'm seeing Can't Be Tamed. I want to say that's a song by Miley Cyrus. I haven't heard that song in years. I can't be tamed. I think that's the lyrics. But now Spirit was just showing me Miley. Yeah. Short hair, Miley. Oh my goodness, which kind of really aligns with this reading. That archetype of super innocent Hannah Montana Disney star, and then just how she went totally left to the other side of the spectrum and was so rebellious. I'm feeling like you're having your Miley moment. We have the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So it seems like value follows you. You know, to be honest, a lot of people like you because of what you could do for them. I ain't even gonna hold you. Because in a reading like this, I would love to see something like, oh, they like this about you, they like that about you, they like you for you. But if I'm keeping it 1,000, I see a whole lot of they like what comes with you. They like what comes with you. But dealing with you head to head may require them to stand up as a better version of themselves, as the best version of themselves, or they may have to match your energy. They have to be great as well. And that's where people fall short. I feel like people are intimidated by you. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We got the Page of Pentacles here as well. So it seems like you're destined to make a lot of money, or it seems like you're very wealthy and people are attracted to that wealth. Whether you have a good job or you have degrees or you're lucky or you get like kind of lucky experiences. You could even have like pretty privilege where you get to skip the line because you bad. You don't got to pay for XYZ because you're hot. Like literally, you could have that kind of experience, especially as you evolve. It seems like, I just heard groupies, and it seems like people want that to be them. They want that to be their reality. Oh, I just heard somebody say this the other day. What did she call it? Destiny? Was it? What was it? Well, the best way to explain it is destiny stealing. I forgot what word she used. It was so good though. But she was, you know, talking about how people will get in your life and they will copy you and they will body what you have going on and they will start doing what you're doing. And like, oh, destiny swapping. That's what it was. Destiny swapping. So it's like when, you know, they're not meant to do or to have whatever you have, but then they somehow swap your destiny. So she told the story about how she had a podcast and she invited one of her friends on, and then weeks later she was having a hard time getting the film from the podcast that she filmed. The guy that filmed it was being weird with her, and she ended up finding out that the girl that she interviewed was talking to him. And then like a month later, she finally gets the, you know, film from him. And he's spilling the beans, you know, talking about how the other girl was talking about her. But also a month later, this girl is like, yeah, I have a podcast and I want you on, and I'm going to film at the same place you were filming with the same film guy. Destiny swapping. You may have experienced that at some point, group 4, where people try to literally do what you do. We have the Death card at the bottom of the deck, so I feel like people F around and find out. What you have working in your favor is a strong spiritual force or a strong spiritual energy. So I don't feel like people could actually destiny swap you, but I feel like they try. Spirit, what else can you tell me for group 4? We have Lord Shiva with transcendence and Freya with phases and cycles. Lord Shiva says, rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given, dance with the universe. Yeah, you're dancing with the universe. You're connected with the universe. You're kind of like giving God's favorite energy at this time. And I am definitely on your side when it comes to sharing this with other people. I don't feel like you should. I feel like you should absolutely protect that relationship and also receive all the abundance that's being given to you, because it's not being given to other people at this time. This is your blessing, your dharma. Freya with phases and cycles, it says there is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are being released and revealed. You know, group 4, I feel like other people may have known your potential before you did, or other people may have known that you're special or that you have power, and they may have tried to control your destiny, like maybe even family. And that is also being transmuted and moved past. They're no longer allowed to control you because you don't have to depend on them. That's also something Spirit is saying. The more you can get your own, the better. Your own space, all of that. We have indecision. It says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So if you're feeling indecisive, I would say definitely go with your intuition because it's spot on. And we have friendship. It says, I understand a friend is in my life for a reason. You know, you may be feeling isolated at this time, though. I really do feel that. You may be feeling more isolated, and I feel like Spirit is bringing you into new connections, new friendships. And I feel like someone was in your life for a reason, but they may be getting phased out at this time, and just trust that it is for your better good. That's what I got for you, group 4. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you'd like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And that's what I have for you today. I'll talk to you soon.